You are listening to Three Kitchens Podcast, hosted by Erin Walker and Heather Dyer.
We're friends trying out recipes in our own regular home kitchens. We hope our experiences will inspire you to get creative in the kitchen.
And of course, eating them was extremely easy.
Eating them, as always, is the best part.
Okay, well, here we are. Welcome, everybody, to Three Kitchens Podcast season, drumroll please, six. Can you believe it? I usually get it wrong. Well, we're still at the tail end of summer, very tail end.
We can taste the freedom.
Oh, I know. Please let them go back to school. But I wanted to take advantage of the long weekend to cook something. So this is why we're recording now.
Yes.
But before we get into that, what was this kitchen adventure you just wanted to tell me about?
Well, I have to admit to something, which probably maybe a lot of people will laugh at, but I've never defrosted my freezer in my kitchen, ever.
Okay. I'm not really laughing. I've done my
Have you done yours,
chest
though?
freezer
Okay.
a couple of times because it's very old and it does get ice built up in it.
The compartment gets smaller. Well, our fridge stopped working, essentially.
No.
It wasn't cooling anything. It wasn't freezing anything. There was ice building up, like on the top of it. And of course, we were just talking before this, we've been out camping and we've been living in like coolers and boxes. And in case you're not familiar with that type of living, it doesn't keep your food super cool either. So stuff has been going bad. There's been a few incidents with curdling cream and bad milk. I mean, you get home and you're like, finally, my creature comforts. No. I had to empty everything out of my fridge and freezer to figure out what was going on. And then, so we had the hairdryer. We had a mass of ice in the cooling coils between the fridge and the freezer because it's got the freezer up top, the fridge below. Mm-hmm. So I was really like, oh God, like now we got to buy a new fridge. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so I took everything down. Carting, I had 4 Superstore buckets of stuff from my fridge that I carted down into the basement. I didn't have any ice, didn't have anything to keep everything cold with. I was like, well, the basement's my coolest room. Note to self, don't do this in the summer, but you know, it's not like I made much of a choice. Mm-hmm. We got it all melted out finally, and today my fridge is cold again. So it fixed the problem, yay. Like I said, I don't think this is even type 2 fun because it's not like that enjoyable in the end.
Good about it at the end of it.
Not like, wow, I accomplished something. It's like, oh, I really should have done this sooner. But
so is it just going to happen again? Like, is it just going to build up over time and you'll be in this position again?
Well, you know, my plan is maybe not to wait 15 years before doing it again. I now know the signs and symptoms. Mm-hmm. I know how to take my fridge apart pretty good now. Anyway.
Well, no, that's not very fun, but I'm glad it's working again because that's an issue.
Cheaper than buying a new fridge. Yeah, so let this be a public service announcement to defrost your fridge freezer. So what are you making over the long weekend that's taking up extra time and getting me excited to eat something somebody else cooked?
Yay! I have to admit, now that we've taken a nice long break.
Yes.
I'm feeling inspired and kind of excited to try something new, which is, I mean, our whole mission here to inspire people. And so if we don't feel inspired, how are we going to inspire everybody listening? So I'm feeling good about it. Anyone who's maybe tuned in the past probably by now knows that we here at Three Kitchens love ourselves a dumpling. I mean, who doesn't?
Yes.
Really, right? We have done a few different dumplings. We've done stuffed filled dumplings like pierogi, ravioli, shumai, momo, and not stuffed dumplings. I think you can consider a gnocchi and spätzle. I think you could consider both of those things forms of dumpling without stuffing, filling. Mm-hmm. And I have a new dumpling for us to try. I've never eaten it, never made it, and I'm assuming you haven't either, although I shouldn't assume. Perhaps I'm wrong.
No, I'm not that cultured, don't worry.
It is Turkish and it is called a manti. It is a tiny or quite small stuffed dumpling, which is why I'm thinking it could take me some time because they're small. So you're working with
Oh, you get to
a
get
little
all those
dumpling.
hand and finger skills.
I got to do a little pinch pinch thing.
Oh, sorry, can you say
Yes.
the word again?
Manti. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm
Okay.
sorry if anyone's ears are burning while I say that. Manti. So I've read different things. Some sources say it's Armenian, some say it's Turkish. I imagine there are varieties, regional differences when you go here or there. But I found a video from
Mm,
Rafika. Do you remember Rafika, whose videos we watched to learn to make pita?
yes.
She's so great. I think it's Rafika's Kitchen on YouTube. So if anyone wants to learn to cook Turkish food and you want to watch a chef, Turkish
Mm.
chef do it, she's so good. Her videos are great. And so I watched a whole video of her making these
Ooh.
dumplings. So I feel prepared. I feel ready to do it. They can be stuffed with, I think, almost anything you like. I'm going to do what she did, which is ground beef.
Okay.
And the description is the the dumpling wrapper is an inch square. We're talking small.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Are you gonna
And
contact, are you gonna call a friend for food tweezers?
nope, I'm just gonna do my best with my little old lady hands. Um, yeah. I'm just sometimes when you watch the videos of things you cook,
Mm.
we take those videos from above, and I'm like, oh, my hands look like really old person hands.
At least your nails always look so nice.
Well, at least there's that.
My hands, I'm like, good God, I should be putting gloves on when I do this.
Yeah, and one other recipe I looked at described the amount of filling as the size of a chickpea. So this is a small bit of filling in a teeny tiny dumpling.
This is gonna be the teeny tiniest dumpling
I know.
ever made.
So
Okay,
you eat like a plate of them. You're not eating like three of them on alongside something else. This
this
is
isn't gonna
like,
be like a tasting menu.
well, I don't know exactly, but
Okay, okay.
this is why I was thinking it might take some time. Gonna
Well,
gotta get in the groove, roll out the dough, cut it into roughly equal squares, put a little dab of filling, pinch it together.
yeah, that is some high intensity work.
Yeah.
Very cool. So is
So
there a sauce with it?
there is sort of a thinned yogurt that
Oh,
goes on
okay.
top. And then, okay, I've seen it two ways.
Okay.
One is an oil, like an olive oil that is seasoned with, like, has chili, like chili
Mm,
flakes. So it's
okay.
kind of like a chili oil that you would drizzle over top of all that. Rafika had butter that she melted and seasoned with, I think, chili powder. So it was sort of like a red, her butter ended up looking quite red colored, and then she put that over top. So it could be a spiced oil or butter. I don't know yet which way. It feels like a
Okay.
lot of, like when I watched her do it, it felt like a lot of butter. And I'm like, do we need that much butter on our plate? As much as I love butter, I don't know.
And the price of butter right now?
That's true. But the price of oil is also
Yeah.
an
What's the
issue.
most that you've paid for butter this summer, Heather?
I haven't paid close attention, but over $7 for sure, I would say.
I picked up a block the other day and it was 9.49
Oh
for
my
a
God.
pound of butter. And if I would have noticed that price at checkout and not at home, I would have put it back.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
I I was floored.
That's insane. Yeah.
Well, these dumplings might also be sort of insane, so I can't wait.
Well, and we can drizzle as much or as little of this oil
Yeah.
over top as we want. I think maybe for the sake of a video on YouTube, you probably do kind of like load it up and make it look
Mm.
extra gooey and delicious. I imagine on the plate when you're eating it, you don't have to go quite so heavy on
True.
the fat, but I don't know. What do I know? Okay, so that's what I'm doing. That's why I wanted to hop on and record so that I can spend some time this long weekend folding itty bitty dumplings. I hope I don't go completely insane.
I wish you good luck.
Thank you.
Hey listener, have you visited our website? You'll find our entire catalog of episodes. Can you believe there are more than 170 of them, including the Speakeasy Cocktail Series and almost all of our recipes?
It's easy to find. Just type in www.threekitchenspodcast.com or check the show notes for a link. Now let's get back to the show. Okay, so let's talk about how to make Manti, these delightful wee little dumplings.
Delightful is right.
Delightful. Okay, so the dough is pretty basic dumpling dough. You've got all-purpose flour, water, an egg, and a little bit of salt. Just mix it up with your wooden spoon till it kind of comes together, and then if you want to knead it by hand, turn it out onto your counter and work on it for about 10 minutes. Or
That sounds like I'm
did.
employing the mixer.
yes, I put it in my mixer with the dough hook
Yeah.
until you have a nice kind of soft ball of dough. And then cover it with a damp kitchen towel and set it aside for later. It doesn't tell me how long. It just says set it aside for a while. So I think by the time I made up my filling and got it all ready to go and kind of got my kitchen cleaned up and ready to assemble things, it had probably been half an hour, 40 minutes maybe.
I don't know. I feel like when they say to let a dough rest, often it's around 15 to 30 minutes when there is a time. So since we're not doing anything with yeast,
Yeah.
I'll put a hard bet on you're probably good at 30 minutes.
I don't think that's what I was thinking too. I was like, it doesn't matter as much without yeast.
Yeah.
You're just setting the gluten or whatever, right? Like it's just kind of
It's been
coming together.
prodded and poked and it needs
Yeah.
a chance to like rest so that it can do its next job.
I guess so, yeah. Divide it in half, roughly. Doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, you can do that before you set it aside if you want. Just break it into 2 balls. And maybe I should talk about the filling first since we're not ready to use the dough just yet. So everything says you can put whatever you want in them. Mushrooms, chickpeas, cheese, meat. But I went with what Rafika was doing in her video, which was 250 grams of minced beef. I didn't have minced. I don't ever really see that around. So I just used ground, which I think is just slightly chunkier than minced, I assume.
So what, you didn't take your steak and slice it into tiny little...
Neither did she, okay? What was it you did that for?
The empanadas.
Oh, right. Whew, that was a lot of work. No.
According to me, ground beef is just as good. Go for it.
Yes, that's what I used. Ground beef. 1 onion grated, a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of pepper, and half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper.
Ooh, okay.
Very basic filling. Again, if you want it to taste like something a bit different, just make it your own. Put whatever you like in there. Now you have your filling ready. So flour your counter, lightly flour it, put one of your halves of the dough down and roll it out with your rolling pin. And keep kind of flip it and rotate it and roll it and keep doing that until you get about a 50 centimeter in diameter circle-ish.
Okay.
It's not going to be perfect, believe me. It should be about 1.5 to 2 millimeters thick. I still haven't figured out exactly how to measure how thick something is when I roll it. I think there's tools that you can use, like little, but I don't have such a thing.
You don't have your kitchen ruler?
No, I used to have one. It disappeared. One of the kids went off with it for a craft or homework or something, and I haven't replaced it. So anyway, it's quite thin.
That is a very thin dough.
Yeah, very thin. Then you're going to cut this into small squares. So just use a pizza cutter or pastry cutter and just do lines one way, lines the other way.
Oh boy.
And you have all these little tiny squares. So in her recipe notes, she says, traditional Manti is smaller, but this is a place to start, which is around 3 centimeters square. Like, how could it be smaller than 3 centimeters? That's
Is this for like child labor? Because I can imagine only they have the
yes,
tiniest enough fingers to do this, and we have pretty tiny fingers.
right? Like, I don't know how, having done this, I don't know how
Yes,
they could be any smaller.
that's ridiculous. All
We're
right.
talking teeny tiny dumplings, you guys. Like,
Okay.
tiny. Okay, so if you can manage it smaller, go for it. You'll be like an honorary Turkish chef. Okay, then you're gonna put a little tiny bit
Uh-huh.
of meat filling in the center of each one. So this is still out on your counter. It's all cut, but you're just,
Now you're putting all the filling on.
I did about half of it and kept the other half of it covered with my damp towel, just because I didn't know how long it would take me to kind of get in the groove and figure out how, and so I didn't want it to kind of dry out while it was sitting there.
So that's like my main question is how did you portion out the meat part?
With my
Like
fingers.
just a
But
pinch with your fingers. Okay.
that's what she was doing in the video.
Yeah.
And I think it will depend on how big your squares of dough are. You
Yeah.
want it to be, you want it to fill it, but you need room to pinch it closed. So it is a very small bit of filling.
Okay. Just pinch it with your fingers.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
I didn't know how else to do it.
I was thinking about that a lot as I enjoyed these. And when I knew you were making them, I was like, how's that going?
It's the only thing I could think of. Okay. So now that you've got a little square with a little tiny dab of filling on it, pick it up, put it on your hand, on the palm of your hand.
Okay.
So if you're holding it in your left hand, then you're going to touch the two opposite corners with water, just a little bit of water, and then kind of fold them up together and pinch them in the middle.
Okay.
And then take the other two and pinch them to the middle. So
Okay.
you're kind of making like a little, I think of it like a little purse almost. You know, like a drawstring
Yeah.
purse looks like it's kind of all
Yeah.
gathered at the top.
Hmm.
It's kind of like that. And you kind of just have to pinch it and then set it down. And what I did was I had a plate to the side that had flour on it. Put
Right.
flour on your hand, put flour on the thing, because they do get kind of sticky, especially when you add water
Yeah.
to stick them. Now they're getting sticky. Your hand is going to be sticky. I had to keep stopping and washing my hands because it would be kind of goopy.
Right.
when I was trying to hold them. I don't know if there's a dumpling in the world you could make that isn't a little bit messy.
I was going to say, you always just kind of end up head to toe. You move your hair out of your face and then you've got flour on your cheek. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's always a little bit of a full body experience when you're making the
Yeah.
dumplings, isn't it?
And when it's small like this, because it's so fiddly,
Yeah.
you're kind of, you don't want to have everything stuck.
No, I can
Okay.
imagine.
So I had my son who was hanging around in the kitchen. I asked him to just count
Okay.
how long it was taking me once I kind of got going. And it was about 12 seconds to close up one dumpling.
Speedy.
I don't know if that's speedy or not, because when you think about it, like I counted and now I can't remember. I think there were probably about 50 total little teeny tiny dumplings,
Yoy.
maybe 40 to 50. And
Okay.
so if you're doing 12 seconds to close up each one, that's not counting the cutting, doling out the little tiny bits of meat.
That's only like 6 a minute.
Yeah, it's not very fast, I don't think.
Oobly.
It's a bit of work, for
All right.
sure.
But that's okay. We know we're getting into that. If you say I'm going to
Yeah.
make dumplings, you have committed to some tedium and some
Yes.
time.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is a kind of, these are dumplings that you eat a plate. You eat like a little bowl of them. You don't eat 3 on the side of,
Oh God, I hope
know.
not.
because they're so tiny. So you can't make a small little number of them.
No.
You make a big number of them. So you're going to be there a little while. So just get comfy, covered in flour.
Pop on your favorite podcast.
Exactly.
And,
Put us in your ears while you are making dumplings. You could learn to make something else. Totally confuse yourself.
or just listen to us babble when we do our drink series, because that's always fun too.
Yeah, no kidding. That's always amusing. Okay. And have a drink while you're making dumplings. Why not?
Exactly.
Okay. Okay. So to cook these little
Yeah.
lovely dumplings, you're going to boil water, add a little pinch of salt, not as much salt as you would for pasta.
Okay. Don't
So
make
a
it
little
salty
less.
as the sea.
No. Yeah. Into that water, you're also going to put in 2 garlic cloves. Just toss them in there.
Oh, okay, that's fun.
Yeah, I know, right? And then you put your Monty in, and after about 3 to 3.5 minutes, you kind of check them to see if they are done. You can taste it. The meat cooks really fast, so you can taste it. You just don't want them doughy. That's what you're going for
Your
here.
meat is raw when it goes in.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
And
okay.
when you pinch it together,
Yes.
you don't want it completely, you're not aiming for it to be completely sealed. It's okay
Okay.
that, you know, where there'll be kind of like little
Corner.
corners
Yeah.
don't come fully together. That helps steam the meat.
Okay.
And also, apparently, she said the onion, the reason she grates it instead of chops it to put it in the filling is because it brings out the juice, which also helps to cook the meat because the juice kind of steams the meat inside the dumpling.
Okay.
Yes, it's raw when you don't cook that meat first. Okay.
Okay, I'm on board now. I promise I have shown up.
Okay, so after they're done, now you're gonna have to do them in batches if you're cooking them all at once. I
Okay.
did not cook all at once. I did kind of like one pot, and then I saved some of them. But if you're doing like a big pot, you might have to do it in batches because you don't want them to stick together. I don't know, kind of feel it out depending on the size of your pot.
Okay.
What I did was like took them out with my big like basket scoop thing. I just
yeah.
scooped them out and put them onto into a casserole dish. Like I just took them out of the water so they'd
yeah.
stop cooking, and then take a glass. It says a glass of water from the pot. So I would say about half a cup of water
Okay.
from your hot water out of it, and you add it to some yogurt. This is the garlic yogurt sauce you're going to put onto your dumplings. So it's about 8 tablespoons of plain yogurt, and then that bit of cooking water to thin it to more like a sauce. So don't just dump all the water in at once. You're going to kind of
Right.
add a little bit, stir it. It's going to depend on the thickness of your yogurt and how runny you would like it to be.
Right.
I aimed for spoonable.
Oh,
Like
okay.
instead of a clump, I wanted it to kind of like, it's a sauce.
Drizzle.
Yeah, more like a drizzle. Then you're going to fish those 2 garlic cloves that you put in your boiling water.
Yes.
You're going to fish them out, put them on your cutting board, and just flatten them with your knife, and so that they're kind of mashed now. And add that to your to your yogurt as well.
Okay.
Add a little bit of salt and pepper, and
Okay.
that's your sauce.
Ooh.
And then the last thing
Yum.
that you're going to put onto your lovely Monty dumplings is the butter sauce. So remember we talked about you could do butter or you could do oil.
Okay.
You're going to add like pepper or chili into it, something a little bit with a little bit of a kick. So I followed again Rafika's, which is a tablespoon of butter, 2 pinches of red pepper flakes. Melt the butter over the heat, but you don't want to brown it. So the way she was doing it was above her element. She was sort of shaking the pot
Okay.
so that the heat is not directly on the butter because you don't want to brown it. You just want to melt it, and you want to season it a little bit, and then you're going to serve your dumplings with the yogurt sauce with butter over top, and then a little bit of dried mint sprinkled on there, which I had some mint on my deck, and I had thrown it in my dehydrator earlier on when I was doing something else. And so I had that, and sumac if you have it and if you like it. And that's that. That's dumplings. It took way longer to make them than it did to talk about making them.
Well, isn't that dumplings for you?
Yes. And of course, eating them was extremely easy.
Eating them, as always, is the best part. Oh my gosh. Can I just express how much I love that somebody's cooking for me again?
I
Now
know.
that we've started this up. Oh my gosh. I'm like, I love food days. This is just the greatest.
Mhm.
So good.
I like that they're teeny tiny.
Yeah, we got them and they wasn't sure what they were. And so the kids were like, oh, I don't know what that is, right? And I was like, they're little mini dumplings. And then they were like all over it.
Yeah.
So I forked them a couple and then I was like, okay, back off. That's
rest
all
are
you're
mine.
getting. I love that little yogurt sauce.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. I'm gonna make that just to put on any dumpling because I think it was just delicious. A yogurt sauce.
Yeah.
Who'd
The
have
garlic
thought?
is key.
The garlic is key. The mint, I wouldn't have guessed. I thought there was something greenish. Didn't really know. Was like, oh, maybe that's parsley. I don't know. Maybe I ate them too
Yeah.
fast.
I actually thought fresh mint might have had a bit more
Mm.
flavor. And I really love that Turkish food tends to have that mint in it. I think it's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
It's such an interesting ingredient when it comes to putting it in something savory. It's not something I would expect to put in savory.
mhm.
This is fantastic. These are, what do you think? Worth the work?
Oh, I think they were. It's kind of
Okay.
like when you make gnocchi and they take
Yeah.
some time, but they're so good. Like that homemade little dumpling is just like
So the ones that you didn't cook right away and you saved, did you freeze them?
I didn't because
Okay.
I wasn't sure when we were going to eat them. I should have though.
Okay.
I think if you freeze them, like you freeze lots of things where you have them not touching each other, freeze them, and then pop them in a container or whatever for the freezer, then you can just grab like however many you want and cook them up and eat them real quick for lunch or whatever.
Right. In your opinion, would you go directly from the freezer into the boiling water or would you want them to thaw a bit?
No, I think you cook
Okay.
them from frozen. In fact, I'm pretty sure she mentioned that in her video.
Okay, great.
Yeah. There is this, think of it like tortellini. That's kind of like what it's
Ooh,
like, right?
right.
It's a different shape, different fold. Tortellini can be a bit bigger sometimes, but
Okay.
so if you think of it like that, if you don't want to have the yogurt sauce, if you actually have a marinara and you want to throw it on, I mean, it would still be good.
But you
And
should
you've got to
make the
call it
yogurt
fusion.
sauce.
But and hey, if you want to put this yogurt, garlic sauce, and like spicy butter on your tortellini, I would also do that. Now I have all the
Yes.
Italians and the Turkish
Yes.
people.
Everybody's
Open
upset
arms.
with you equally now. We've
Yes,
pissed everyone off. You're
whatever.
welcome.
Apparently that's what happens.
That's
That's why you
what
just got to
happens.
call everything fusion if you're going to start mixing stuff up.
Oh, I thought this was great. I would like to make these. Now the idea of working with the raw meat seems much easier than working with cooked meat because for some reason I thought the filling was cooked. And
Oh.
when we went through this and realized, oh no, we're working with raw, that seems easier to portion out into your little pinches than cooked meat. So,
Oh, for sure. Cooked becomes more crumbly and then it
well,
would
this
just
is the
roll
thing.
around and would be weird.
Yeah, no, raw meat makes so much more sense. Thank you for showing up, brain. Love it.
Well, I'm glad I could clear that up. And I will try to put in a little video so that you can see. But if there is no video or if you're listening, go to the social media because we always do a little promo reel for each episode that has at least little snippets of what we cooked. So you can kind of see how to
Yeah.
fold.
Some of that process.
Yeah. And you'll see it's raw.
These are really good. Thank you for taking on this task of itty bitty dumplings.
Just like happiness in your bowl. Yeah.
So good. So good. And now for the fine print. For links to recipes and many other random things we talked about in this episode, check out the show notes or our website, www.threekitchenspodcast.com. Join us over on Instagram, Facebook, Threads, YouTube, and TikTok to see what we're cooking up next. And if you love the show, tell a friend. Word of mouth is the #1 way people learn about new podcasts. Thank you so much for listening.